welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Sandy Weber. She's a sales rep with Dane County Title Company. Welcome, Sandy. So nice to meet you. So tell us, what does a title company do?
Well, thank you, Stacy, for having me on your program today. A title company assists buyers and sellers of real estate. When sellers are selling a property and buyers are wanting to purchase that property, they will usually complete an offer to purchase. And in the offer to purchase, it will generally require the seller to provide the buyer with title insurance. And that's something we can help them with. And you may wonder, well, what is title insurance? Well, title insurance is a one-time premium policy paid by the seller at closing, and it will ensure the buyers that they have clear title to the property. And you may wonder, well, how do we do that? Well, a title company searches many records, including the Register of Deeds. We look for mortgages, judgments, we check with the Treasurer's Office for delinquent taxes, and we compile all this information into a title commitment and then make sure that all of that is paid and satisfied at the time of closing. And then we also provide closing services for our buyers and sellers.
That's a great explanation. So tell us a little bit more about closings. How do you prepare and what happens at a closing?
Well, what we do is once we receive an offer to purchase, we assign a closer, and then they will be the point of contact for the buyers and sellers, their realtors, attorneys, and the buyer's lender. And their job is to prepare the closing statement and do the closing. And how they go about doing that is they'll order the payoff on the seller's mortgages. They'll contact the condominium, if it's a condominium, and contact the association to find out what the dues and assessments might be. They'll prorate the taxes, and they'll contact the realtors to find out what their commission is, and then compile that all into a closing statement, and then send that out to everyone to review prior to the closing. And then at the closing, everyone will meet around the closing table at the same time, and all the paperwork will get signed. And then at the end of the closing, the buyers and sellers walk out with copies of the documents that they've signed. The sellers will receive their proceeds check, and the buyers receive keys to the property.
So there's really a lot to it, but it's nice to have a title company on your side to help you walk through it. So who decides when and where the closing will be then?
Well, generally the buyers and sellers will come to an agreement as to the best day and time that works for them, and then they will convey that to the closer, and they'll put it on our closing calendar.
And who picks the title company then?
Well, usually the offer to purchase will require the seller to provide and pay for title insurance, so they're the ones that will select the title company.
So if someone's wanting to use Dane County Title, when should they start contacting you?
The best time is right after the offer to purchase is signed. That way we can start our title search right away and then also start making preparations for the closing. That way we can make sure that everything is ready and all set to go by the day and time that they have selected.
Lots of excellent information. Thanks so much for stopping by today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.